The new insurance and health care.
No, you're making that up, aren't you?
No, I'm serious as can be.
I'm glad you mentioned his name. You know why I'm glad you mentioned his name?
Why?
Because I almost forgot one of my main topics today.
Holy cow.
And that is that Bob Lassiter is an asshole. And this is on a business and a personal level. No, seriously, he is one of the most malicious, one of the worst, just absolute no talent, no sense of humor. And the number that he's been doing on Randi lately, I haven't said anything about it because I don't want to get involved in the middle. But a couple of nights ago, I'm coming home from the track, and I listened to that, best of Blob hour between 11 and midnight. And him and Kara, who's just a suck-around bitch over there, by the way, the two of them are going, just the lowest, the slimiest, the smarmiest, and for no reason whatsoever. Bob, I got news for you. No matter what you think of Randi personally, in 2 minutes, any 2 minutes of her show, she does more funny stuff and will make you laugh than this man has done in his whole on-the-air career. If he's been on the air 15 years, she's funnier in any 2 minutes, and that's not debatable. There's not even any question about that. Even if you hate her like poison, like George does, she at least will make you laugh a lot, whereas Bob ain't funny, okay?
Oh, man.
He's as funny as terminal cancer. He's a piece of crap.
Depression
and personally, he makes me sick. I hate him like poison. I will not go to any hockey games or dinner with him. I want socially nothing to do with him. No, seriously, I remember that day I called him up a couple of months ago when we did that YNF thing, and the next day I was very upset like everybody else. So I call him at home, and he goes on the air the next morning and twists it all around and repeats everything I said on the air. Bob, you're just a backstabbing piece of crap. You make me sick. You got no sense of humor, and the only reason you got any number over there is because you fit right in with the AM rednecks over there, the old FLA crowd.
If he keeps up with this topic crap, man, he was going on and on and on about the poor people not having anything and how they're working, how they should donate, and the people that own these rich companies should give them their money.
I think he should go over to FLA. I think he fits in there like a glove.
You know what he needs to do? He needs to take all there's 15, he said there's 15 part-time employees over at SUN that don't have health insurance. Well, he ought to take it out of his fat paycheck and give it to them.
Out of his fat hide.
There you go.
That I heard him chowing down from Mike over at the deli again.
Oh, man, he was doing it.
Yeah.
Kosher all the way.
Force-feeding it down his ugly throat.
There you go.
Okay,
have a good weekend, Neil.
Reminder. Have a great life.
Bye.
Lassiter, you make me sick. You're a walking piece of puke. Exactly. No argument. A fat slob, an obnoxious, mean-spirited, nasty, obnoxious ass. Let's do
back there. Neil, I've been listening. I've been listening.
It's not. That's for real. That's right from the heart. You make me nauseous, and you're just garbage. You're human waste, and that's why they fired his ass in Chicago. It wasn't that his show was boring, which it was, but they would have put up with that because they have a lot of boring shows on WLS. It was that he was just a pain in the ass, and everybody hated him like poison, and they wanted his ass out. O-U-T, out. Not a team player by any stretch of the leash. Here's North Miami. Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Oh, so if he's not talking about health care for the elderly, then he's got to be, him and Kara got to get together and rip Randi for 4 hours. That's his idea of a show.
Well, listen, I'm 38, so I'll be listening to Radio Ritmo as soon as I get off the phone with you. This of all time. And then he said Rush Limbaugh, he called him Mr. Pumpkinhead. He said his head was weighed 300 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
But he did make the one point. Somebody mentioned it to you. I didn't get a chance to call when you were talking about it. You can say anything you want if it's in a serious context.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a context.
You can say penis if you're serious about it.
And he said he doesn't remember reading in the First Amendment that it has to be serious talk, which was very funny.
They just make that crap up. It's just, and by the way, Tampa, hello?
Neil.
Yes, sir.
What's your obsession with Jerry Williams?
What?
What is your obsession?
I don't have any obsession with Jerry Williams. What kind of an inane question is that?
Oh, that's from Bob Lassiter.
Oh, tell Bob Lassiter to find a life with all the stuff that's going on this week, and he's talking about Jerry Williams?
He says he's your god or something.
No, he's not my god. I don't see, unlike Bob, I don't imitate anybody else.
Yeah.
I just am me. There's only one me. And unfortunately,
Bob's an asshole, then. We'll call him an asshole, then.
Yeah, I go along with that.
There's a 70-year-old woman who got killed by gators. Hear about that?
Chronic, get out of here. He was on the tape you just played. Remember that? Right toward the end of the hour in the 9 to 10 thing? He was on there. You're a chronic, and if Bob hangs up on you, then join the crowd, man, because you're going to have a lot of us doing it. You're a chronic punk. You sound like about 80% of those punks that call Rick and Suds that all have that same voice, like Danny, or whatever. They all sound the same. They have that same mindless, spaceless jackass. Go away. Too many good things going on this week. I'm not going to be deterred from my appointed grounds by little pimple heads like you. Here's Miami. George says on his set in there it comes in real fuzzy, and it there's
I love
a lot
you, George, and I know you love me.
I love you too, Randy.
No, he doesn't.
Yes,
he hates
he
you
does.
like poison. No, he
Stop
does
it,
not.
he does not.
He's into Anna Maria.
He's going to love his part in the video.
She puts out.
I saw Anna Maria
anyway,
last night. Everything's fine.
Oh, really?
Well, we're not speaking. We just waved, and everything was fine. Well,
I'm not getting in the middle of that. I'm not. I have.
You'd love to get in the middle of that.
No, I would definitely not like to get in the middle of. He would like to get in the middle of almost anything. That's the problem with him. Yeah. I'm a little pickier than him. That's why he's getting some. So anyway.
Seeing your taste, I don't know. I don't know.
Are you going to start attacking Luis Miguel?
No. I said he was a good-looking guy. I said he was okay, but you know who he looks like? Get ready to make that sound. You know who he looks like? I thought about this.
Yes.
Manny Munoz.
There is one picture. He does not look like Manny Munoz, but there is one picture I have that I won't show you where he does look a little bit like Manny. I burned
Without
it already.
the bubble butt thing happening.
Now that is an old. That's an old album. Okay, that's like 6 years older. Now don't get fingerprints. Oh, jeez, you almost dropped it. You crazy bitch.
He looks like.
Leave Garrett in that. That's when he was younger and kind of scrawny, but he filled out a little bit. He's a beautiful
He's loving
human
the
being.
sweater. He's loving it a little.
He's fondling it. He's a little bit too much. Yeah. In fact, I might have that Cuando Caliente El Sol tape in there, but I don't think you're ready for that. You would expire on the floor because there's like, hot babes and guys and just enough for all of us in there, just to roll around and frolic on the sand in.
Yeah, and no, he ain't bad, Neil. He ain't bad. He's got those pouty lips. He's got those nice hazel eyes. Do something with his hair, but that's it.
Well, that's an old thing. His hair is not like that anymore.
He looks 16 in this picture.
Well, he was 17 in that picture. It's an old album. It is his best album. Why are we discussing this? We're discussing you now. Don't try to deflect the issues.
What's to talk about?
Let's talk about Bob for a couple hours.
I hate Bob.
And so do I.
Good.
Not just because of you, because
I hate
don't.
Bob because Bob is not a professional. Bob has no class.
He's a backstabbing phony, is what he is. You know, and I'll be the first one to tell you that yes, we did get into a discussion.
I was at the hockey game and Neil sucked up to me good. Oh, that'll be the day, you fat pig.
I just had a witness who called who was there and said hello at the game, like a lot of other people did in Tampa Saturday. Yeah. And Joel, Chronic Joel, who will never darken our door again, this is an agent provocateur. But he sat right in between us, so I wasn't even sitting by Bob. And in addition to which, I wasn't sitting by him at dinner at Donatello's. He was sitting like on the other side of the post. No, but listen to me. Why would somebody go on the air and say that I sucked up to him for what? What is he going to do for me?
He said you sucked up to him.
Right, but why would anybody say that?
Exactly, it makes no sense. Nothing he says makes any sense.
Is he trying to build himself up in the minds of his FLA nose pickers that he's like the guru of radio?
He wants to be the big fat whale in the small pond.
He is the big
fat whale. In the little pissant market. Because he knows he can't make it here. He can't cut the mustard here. We would never even consider him in a major market doing anything big time. He knows that. He resents you for your success. He resents me for mine.
Now you know what it's like getting a phone call from her?
I can't stand this guy.
You know what it's like getting a phone call from her? I talked to her on the phone yesterday, and I'm holding the phone just like this.
Oh, yesterday
I
was weeping.
Like this. I mean, like 5 feet away. And the dogs are listening. Oh, really?
Is that what you do?
Yeah. Well, because you don't have to have it close to your ear or your ear.
Yeah.
So anyway, let me take a break, and then we'll come back and tell everybody the good news.
Right.
Is there good news?
Yeah, it seems
Bob's going to be unhappy because Bob's been doing a dance. Him and Kara over there have been playing grab ass with each other, praying, dancing on your grave.
Oh, she's another one, Neil. You say,
let's do a break. It's 12:21 at WI. Because I thought you weren't going to be here when it gets... now, you look at that and tell me that isn't something really extra special right there.
Yeah, he's cute. He is, Neil.
Good God. Why do you have such crappy taste anyway? What am I asking you about?
I do not.
You have the worst taste in not just men, but in humans. Like in Tampa, what was her name?
Who?
That pig...
Oh, Heaven.
Oh, what was her name? Heaven?
Heaven.
Hell would have been a better name, not Heaven. She was disgusting. She was gross. She was almost as disgusting as that Jap at the hockey game. She's looking like this.
No, she was not. Neil, she was beautiful. At that time, I weighed 30 pounds more than I weigh now. I looked at that body.
Hockey game last night. You weren't there. This guy's wife, who's like a big fan of ours, Ira Katz from Bayside, from the marketing department.
I hate everybody named Katz, by the way.
Do you?
Yeah.
So anyway, she kept giving me these ugly looks, and then he comes over to boy Kurt, and it turns out that he's a big fan and like buddy with Kurt, so that should explain some of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to watch some of your video after we watch. Randy's going to continue to be here just out of spite. In fact, she said that just to piss Bob and Kara off, she's going to work for nothing. She'll work for free forever just to agonize them and, of course, give him more material. Now, I heard him a couple of nights ago, and it was the most scathing, the most uncalled for, the most Bush League, the most outrageous. And then when you sit and you talk to somebody, like I was talking to you on the phone yesterday, and if you would have come on the air and repeated a conversation, I mean, you just don't do that. It's just common sense if you have even a minute degree of professionalism or integrity, which Bob lacks both.
Exactly. You know, you called me back after I spoke to you, and you said, please don't mention this thing. And I said to you, I go, what are you, out of your mind? Like, anything that you and I would ever discuss.
That had nothing to do with anything. That was just like a little side thing. It has nothing to do with anything, exactly. But, like, I would ever repeat anything that you ever said to me in confidence. And, like, you actually told him any of these things that he said. Because none of it was based in reality. Bob is not based in reality. Kara is, a suckling.
Something really seriously wrong with her. Here's a girl.
George is into Kara, too. That's serious.
He is not. Stop with this ridiculous...
He will not admit it to you, but I can assure you, as sure as I'm sitting here, that he's like got fantasies about her. He is obsessed with that bitch.
You're into fat broads? Who knew?
Did you see her husband, by the way? Did you see her husband? Did
No,
you meet
I
her
never.
husband?
I can't even believe she's married to anything.
Well, not to anything. To something.
Oh, he's good.
George?
Really? Oh, a dog. Oh, he's a dog.
No,
Well, what do you...
don't. I love dogs. Don't insult the canine.
She is the most heinous person I've ever... Here's a girl who they take out of the stupid little newsroom, and they say, okay, here, little chickie baby, we're going to give you, like, something to do. You get to clean up after Bob. And all of a sudden, her ego gets to be like the size of Texas. She's out of control, and she's sitting there trashing me like she's got something, some right... Plus, you got to realize how chicken this stuff is, how ridiculous this stuff is. They're over there where I can't hear the goddamn show.
I think you owe me. I think you should do from now till 2 o'clock. Let me go home. You owe me.
I do.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Didn't I straighten your problem out?
You're the best.
Didn't I tell you, did I give you good advice? You came to the Godfather.
Always.
And on the day of my daughter's wedding, I said, okay, let's take a call or two, because somebody listening might know who you are. Sarasota.
Hi, there. Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, wherever the
Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
Oh, I got my tongue cut up in there again after watching Beauty.
Listen, did you by any chance had anybody call in on this article on Palmetto over here, Lawman, get the bottom of the case?
Now, run that by me again.
It's about this lady who's been mooning the railroad engineers over here.
She's been mooning it?
Yeah, I'll be very brief on it. It's priceless. 2 undercover Palmetto detectives were on a mission to preserve the community's moral order. For several days, it seems a CX railroad engineer and a crew had found themselves repeatedly insulted by a woman who ran from the back of the Wild Turkey bar and mooned them.
Oh!
She would stand 8 feet from the tracks, a few hundred yards from downtown on the main street, and bear her behind. It irritated the railroad workers. They sought police help. Now get this. The detectives decided to launch a stakeout. They donned old T-shirts and jeans and stood lookout on the slow-moving cargo train. When it reached 8th Avenue, the engineer blew the horn, and sure enough, a woman appeared. She said she walked to the track, paused, turned around, pulled her pants down. Then they said she bent over, inspected her rust-colored cowboy boots, and wagged her buttocks at the train.
Oh! She was wagging it.
Beautiful.
The detectives jumped from the train, made the capture. Okay, they placed the suspect in jail. Now then, the guys at the bar, they're all mad. So what do? They all get together and they bail her out. It was entrapment, said a man with a pool cue. The guy on the train honked the horn 20 times because he wanted her to do it again. The denizens of the bar took up a collection, bailed her out. I didn't do anything wrong, she said later, holding a pink drink. We were having fun. And the guys are mad because the coppers all arrested her.
Now, where was this?
This is in Palmetto.
Oh, in Palmetto. Well, we know what they do there.
They play with each other naked in the streets.
Right.
The coppers go on to say they're mad because they're wasting taxpayers' money doing this, but the sergeant says the department had received a similar complaint, and they knew who she was because they recognized her face.
Yeah, they recognized her ruddy cheeks. Yeah.
But the bar patrons didn't care. Later in the day, in fact, another woman at the Wild Turkey ran out to the railroad tracks, rolled down her pants, and screamed, "Arrest me!" I thought that was priceless.
That's beautiful.
Great.
I
wouldn't say priceless. It probably got a price tag on it like everything else.
I wanted to ask you something. Is the Calder Trophy the trophy that they give for the most valuable player?
Got up all kinds of lies and stories. This is a man who has stolen every idea, every piece of material that I ever had, and done it poorly, by the way.
Oh.
Very poorly.
I'm so glad you finally have seen the light on him because,
well,
you know,
wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Did I ever say that he was good? Did I ever say that he had a show?
You know what you ever said about him to me? You said he's right where he belongs.
Yes.
That's what you had said about him.
That's what the company...
We went out to lunch one day and I said to him, I said, Neil, I know he's your friend, but this guy just blows.
Who said he's my friend?
Well, that's what I said to you. I said, I know this guy's your friend, and you didn't correct me then, and then you said, but I think this guy really blows. This is the most boring show I've ever heard in my life. And you said, you know what? He's exactly where he belongs.
See, I proposed, because we have this problem with the 9 to 10 hour here, and they play that obnoxious, ridiculous, whatever they call that thing.
Your warm-up hour.
The warm-up hour, which is an asinine idea, and I suggested they carry his 9 to 10 hour. And will you let me finish? Now, what is this about again here, where they're like in bed together, the guys and the girls, like in separate beds?
Party, Neil.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
The guys are slumbering together, though, like on top of each other, in a pile. So, and I suggested the powers to be here that put him on, carry his 9 to 10 hour, the last hour from over there. No. And they considered it for about 20 seconds, and they said, we don't think that's going to happen because we believe that he's Tampa.
He is Tampa.
He would go over in Miami like stale halava in Nova Scotia.
Exactly. He's a perfect tampon. Couldn't have said it
Here's
better.
a lady, speaking of tampons, in North Miami Beach. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
How you doing?
This is Betty from North Miami Beach.
Hey, Betty.
What's
up, Betty?
What's up? I can't top your last call.
Neil, listen, I have a couple of things to tell you.
Turn it loose for a second. You'll feel a lot better. Okay, now grab it again.
Listen.
Go ahead.
Tomorrow on the second race at Calder Racetrack.
The second race?
There's a horse named Fantasy 5.
See?
It's going to win it. It's my horse.
Already.
Cox Broadcasting is ingesting a whole bunch of money into those guys?
No.
That's what I heard.
No.
Yes. It was on our news here, and you know it's got to be true.
Yeah, okay. Whatever you say, pal.
Hey, you know who else?